Okay, back with another episode of the Outliers Mining mini-series. With me today is Mike McDowell, our Director of Asset Management. So Mike, rather than me just regurgitating your LinkedIn and your resume that we've got on the Outliers website, what's something that we wouldn't know about you by looking at you?
Well, I've lived and worked in 7 countries, and included in that were 3 stints in kind of Latin America. So I spent a total of 6 years in living in Latin America, in Mexico, Chile, and Venezuela, and I'm fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, really neat. Getting into asset management, you talk about kind of the 3 pillars that you need for an asset management program. So maybe kick it off with that.
Yeah, sure. Well, what I typically focus on is people, processes, and systems, with the most important one being people. 80% of the challenges and opportunities throughout my career have been with people. So
Mm.
first off, you obviously have to get the right people in the roles, and those people have to be aligned behind a common vision. What we often find is that you've got people, but they're not always sure of what their particular role is. They have a good idea, but there's typically some overlap and some maybe duplication of effort. That once you've identified what your processes are, and looked at them and how the people support those processes, you get a better idea of where there may be duplication, where you may need some better clarity on role. So a lot of times what we found is just by going through the roles and responsibilities for each of the key positions and seeing how they intermix and interact with other people in the organization, you can find a lot of opportunity for, like I said, removing duplication, improving role clarity, and making sure people are aligned and focused on the process parts that they're involved with. You've got processes that in the maintenance reliability spectrum that range from work identification all the way through planning, scheduling, execution, history recording, and then defect elimination on the reliability side. So you need those processes well documented. You need the people to understand their role in that process, and they need to value and believe that their steps in that process are important. Otherwise, they won't do them. So you need their involvement and engagement from the start. You get the people aligned and focused on the processes, then you can bring in systems that will enable those processes, like your CMMS. So your CMMS gives you the ability to, track and capture all the work you do. But in today's world, there's a lot more opportunity to pull in things like condition data, asset health data, those types of things. So, systems are great enablers for the processes that you've established. But you got to make sure that you've got quality people executing the processes in the right way to ensure you get the right data into the system, so that then you can transform that data from data into good information, so you can make the right decisions.
I love it. This it kind of ties in with our chat with Sod and the integrated operations, where we are value driven but people centric. So it's kind of like, yes, here's what we're going after, but you have to understand that it's all about the people performing the work, and if they're not aligned, then good luck. Eh?
That's exactly right. Yeah, if they don't value what they're doing or believe that it's the right thing to do, there's a good chance they're not going to do it. So you have to get those people aligned, and when you do, the benefits can be amazing. Like, you've got a team that's focused and everybody's aligned on the vision, and everybody tends to work together, communicate better, and the end result is improvement.
That's great, Mike. So if people wanted to find out more from you, what's the best way to get in touch?
I'm on LinkedIn, so yeah, by all means, connect with me on LinkedIn. Also on the website, the Outliers website, you can find me there.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, thanks, Ryan.